Being a student at college during lockdown was different.
Something I ever thought I would have to deal with personally.
I think the biggest problem is trying to stay motivated.
Locked at home without being able to enjoy a social meal out.
Not knowing if we had a job, to now where we know we've got a job and we are secure.
It's hard to believe this has happened. It's hard to believe how quickly it's happened, and it's extremely hard to believe this has affected everybody worldwide. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected people in so many different ways, from family, friends and work. When it comes to work, so many businesses have been forced to close for almost over a year and are just now beginning to reopen. Frankie, Benny's and Falkirk's were the most popular places to come for a meal. However, when the pandemic first hit, they were forced to close their doors, and when the second wave hit, they were forced to close again. Now, finally able to reopen in April, they have more restrictions in place.
DRG Frankie and Benny's Falkirk, Flavio speaking, how can I help? Yep, booking a table on menu 4. 2 people, perfect. What time would you like it? Perfect, that is your table now booked for 4:15. Yes, a Falkirk brunch. 2 people, lovely. I'll see you later, bye. So back in December we had to close our restaurants again, and that was quite annoying in the whole perspective, the customer side, because they had again locked at home without being able to enjoy a social meal out, being served by servers they've been friends with for a long time, since the restaurant opened back in 16 years ago. So we closed the doors and we actually took the time to improve our menu, improve the restaurant and improve our service, how we could improve on service with distance. So that's what we did.
So we first came back around June to open up the restaurant as management team. This was particularly difficult. We weren't given much guidance or basis as to what we were supposed to do, how we were supposed to open. There was a lot of nerves, of course, for us coming back as a management team as to what to expect with guests, what to expect with staff. Then, once we had our trainings and eventually got the guests in, it was a lot better. This lockdown has passed a lot quicker than previous lockdown. Definitely made it easier because we had a job to actually do. We've been here doing takeaways, which has kept us busy, decorating the restaurant. But it's come with its challenges as well. But it's been a lot easier now than previous. I think mental health as well has been a huge aspect of it. Previously with no job, not knowing if we had a job, to now where we know we've got a job and we are secure.
But it's not just the work environment that suffered the most. A lot of schools and colleges have taken a big hit during this pandemic. Many of the colleges have not been able to reopen properly and have forced a lot of students to do their work from home. This has caused a lot of students to struggle to get their work done as they're not having the proper college experience and interacting with other students and lecturers.
Being a college student during a global pandemic is very odd. It's not something I ever thought I would have to deal with personally in my life, and at the beginning of it, it was quite interesting, different change of pace. You got to sleep in, you got to do your work in a place where you feel comfortable, maybe slack off a little bit, which is definitely what I did towards the beginning. But, as time went on and the workload got larger, I realized that I really needed to, put my foot down, work a little bit harder, go that extra mile, to keep caught up with my lecturers and the other students, make sure that I know what I'm doing it right as well. Not being able to get access to equipment was quite the bummer, but I made it work. I hope that next year, though, when things clear up, we all get to go back to the campus, we all get to work together again as we normally would, and we can put all this behind us.
Being a student at college during lockdown was different. It was something I hadn't experienced before, to do, with the whole lockdown and the 2 metre rule. We got through it. It was fine. obviously after a couple of weeks of the whole lockdown, the colleges shut and we had to online work, which was better because you got to stay home and have a lie in. But it was quite difficult because when you're at home, you have like less motivation to do work. You lie in, you just think, oh, I'll do it later, and you don't do it later, and you do it tomorrow, and you won't do it tomorrow. But I think after a while, we all realised that we can't be doing it anymore because college work's important, and you need to get on with it.
The biggest problem is trying to stay motivated. To do work in general. You know, I'm sitting in a room here with multiple different gadgets and books and games and stuff that keep me distracted. And the lecturing team are doing a great job, I think, of trying to keep classes engaging. And I'm engaged in almost every class that I'm in. And I'm more encouraged to take notes, and it's much easier to find all my notes because I'm working on my own MacBook. I'm working on that. But all in all, I feel like it changes the way I experience college in a way that I don't really like. And even though the lecturers are trying their best and the whole lecturing staff are all doing their best to make engaging classes and engaging work, it is not ideal because I'm a person who loves to go into the building and be surrounded by people who are also doing the work, and it's a lot easier to chat to class members and lecturers that way.